How's it going, everyone? This is Andy from PSR, and today we're going to be swapping out the low beam bulbs on my 2006 Toyota Corolla for LED bulbs. And thank you to Lasfit for sending over the bulbs to us. Okay, now let's get started. The tools you'll be needing on my car at least is a 10mm, an extension, and a ratchet. You don't necessarily need this long of an extension, that's just the shortest one I have at home. You are also going to potentially need a screwdriver with a number 2 bit. Alright guys, here's the product that Lasfit sent us. These are the LED LS Pluses. There will be a link to this product in the description, but let's get to opening this. So you get a product manual, get some spare rubber O-rings, and then there they are. Let's lift this out of the way. So it seems like we've got some sort of ballast with these bulbs, but these look very nice. And then here's some info from the product manual. And on the other side, it has installation instructions. And if you look at this page in the product manual, it wants you to keep the LED straight up. Now this is pretty interesting. I've never seen this. We'll explain kind of how this gets installed when I'm actually doing the install, but it has these locking tabs and you can spin them to adjust where this sits when you install them. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then of course, as you can see in there, there's a little fan that helps dissipate heat, and it also has some copper pieces up here to help with that as well. Now let's get to work. Let's pop our hood. So, depending on the vehicle that you own, you may have one bulb that controls both the low beam and the high beam, or just one bulb that controls the low beam. In my specific scenario, I have one that controls the low beam and one that controls the high beam. So, that's why I say we need to figure it out. Turn on your lights, go for the high beams. As we can see, this is the one I need to access. That's the one that is the low beam. And since we did the easy side in our last bulb video, we're going to do the harder side now. The reason why it's harder, at least for me, is the battery's in the way and I can't, like I can touch the bulb, but I can't get a good grip on it to twist it because my hands are pretty big. So we're going to want to loosen this nut and then eventually remove this bolt to take this strap off. Let's grab our ratchet. For whatever reason, I can't fully remove the strap. I'm not too sure why. It's kind of annoying. But I was able to slide the battery over. It's usually here. I was able to slide it that way. And if we look right there, where my finger's pointing, that's our low beam bulb. So basically you want to grab it and you want to twist it counterclockwise, and then you should be able to pull it out. Like so. That's what these locking tabs are. You go counterclockwise, pull out, and then when you install, you push in, go clockwise. But okay, now that we got the old bulb out, let's take this one apart. On this specific connector, for whatever reason they designed it so that you have to lift these two tabs up while pulling this apart. So you're gonna wanna grab with your thumb and middle finger right here, and then use your pointer finger. That way you are securing the connector and not pulling on the pins in the connector, if that makes sense. So again, grab with your thumb and middle finger, use your pointer finger. If you push them together first, it can make getting these two apart a little easier. And there we go. Now if you're installing bulbs, especially ones with glass, you don't want to touch them with your bare fingers because the oils from our hands get on this, and then when the bulb heats up, it'll heat up that oil really hot and it can burn through the glass, and the glass is what insulates this so that the bulb doesn't blow. Alright, now that we got the old bulb off, let's hook up our new Lasfit bulb and see if it lights up. As you can see, it lights up and it is ridiculously bright. Now that we verified that it works, we're going to want to orient this so that this piece is straight up with the vehicle. And remember, you can turn this to help you with that. Okay, as we can see, I got the new bulb installed. I'm going to probably double side tape that to something over here just so it's not hanging around there. So now let's see the difference between the stock bulbs and the Lasfit bulbs. All right, here we go. Okay guys, as you can see, it's genuinely insane.
Hey guys, if you're interested in the products you saw in this video and you'd like to get something similar for your car, be sure to check out the description for links to Lasfit's website and use our discount code ROYALS20 to get 20% off your entire order. Now that discount code is limited to the first 20 people who redeem it, but even if you miss out on that code, you can still get 15% off your entire order by using the discount code ROYALS. As an added bonus, we're also doing a Lasfit giveaway today. The prize is going to be 2 sets of LED turn signals. And all you have to do to enter is subscribe to our channel, like this video, and leave a comment below indicating what modification you'd like to see from us next.
Now, at least in the past, I've noticed, when I had my Accord, I put halogens in and they had reflectors and it would just reflect up almost like it was high beams. And people would always flash me, tell me to turn off my high beams, but I didn't have them on. So I'm almost wondering if this will allow that to not happen. I'll keep you guys updated on that, but honestly, this is a fantastic upgrade so far. And here's a view of it. This is the stock side. We got those Lasfit turn signal bulbs that are two-tone, if you will. I can't remember the proper term. But again, stock, upgrade. Okay, now we're on the easier side. I'm gonna try to get a video for you guys just kind of in an awkward spot. Ooh, camera fell. But again, just push it counterclockwise. Sometimes it's a little difficult to get out. And then pull it out. And then same thing with the connector. It's the exact same on the other side, so just rinse and repeat. Also, if you're testing the difference between the other sides, don't pull it out right away and touch the glass. I definitely did not make that mistake just now as soon as I shut the camera off, but don't do it. Okay guys, we got the new one installed, and as I was indexing this, I noticed something. If you look right where my thumb on the bottom of the screen is, there's that little silver screw. If you turn this all the way one way, you can pull this off. And I think these are the O-rings that you're intended to replace if something happens to those, the spare ones they sent. But, just a heads up, if this falls off, it's not a problem with the product. It's you accidentally indexed it too far and it fell off. And then another important point, put the cord facing down, because obviously if you leave it like this in there, it's always gonna have tension, so just put it facing down. Okay, so now with this bulb, I indexed and whatnot, but when I try to take it back out, it just spins in there and I can take just this out, not the locking mechanism in there. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be designed, and I don't really know how I feel about that because I feel like it'd be kind of a pain to get that out now. The other end of it, the end that actually secures it to the headlight. So let's say I wanted to sell this car and put these in a different car. Now that kind of makes it a little bit more difficult, but again, I don't know if that's how it was designed. That's just what I found. And this is mainly for my curiosity, but as you can see, I indexed this one this way, and just so you can see the difference, the driver's side is indexed this way, how it's supposed to be. So let's see what happens if you index it wrong. And as you can see, the passenger side isn't terrible, but it's not as crisp as this. Like, see, it's like a nice square with a little bit around. Because it's a reflector style headlight, you're gonna get that little bit. But that one is just not nearly as focused and it's more spread out. Just in case anyone was curious, I was curious. And this is them indexed properly. As you can see now, that one has the nice square with a little bit above, but honestly, I'm not too concerned with that. And then of course, don't forget to secure the battery back if your car requires you to move the battery. And then after you tighten it, give it a good wiggle. On mine at least, make sure these 2 squares are touching the battery. Make sure they're lined up. All right guys, now we got the bulbs in. There's still one more step. Let me show you. Okay, so as you can see, but if you can't tell, this is not ideal. So basically, the problem with the way the lights are leveled right now is this side is higher than that side, when in reality, the passenger side should be higher than the driver's side, because on that side, you don't have to worry about blinding a driver coming towards you. Now obviously if you're in England, Japan, Australia, etc., anywhere where they have right-hand drive, it would be the opposite. This would be passenger, that would be driver, and this would have to be higher. So basically we have to adjust the headlights so that the passenger side is higher, and then I don't have the proper space to adjust them. I believe you need 10 feet or so, and then there's a specification, whatever, but I'm just gonna go based off of how it looks at night. So let me show you how to adjust it. Okay, so on this specific car, we're on the passenger side right now. You're gonna wanna find this little groove, and if you look straight down that groove, you can see that thing with teeth right there. You're gonna wanna get a number 2 screwdriver and twist that while the light is on so you can see which way you're adjusting it. Now in my situation, I have to use this because I don't have a screwdriver long enough to go down this groove and stay in the groove because it has this little thing on the end that makes it too fat. But I can go right there, and as you can see, if I turn it, see how it's moving? Perfect. Now let's turn the lights on. Okay, now as you can see, the passenger side is higher. Now obviously we're only 3 feet from the car, so that might be too high, because obviously, you know, if it raised that much in this short of a distance, how far is it gonna be when it goes like 100 feet, for example? Sorry, there's a fly flying around my camera. But there you go, that's how you adjust it. The driver's side was good. You know, it looks pretty and level, and that's how you do that. And that's how you swap out your stock bulbs for LED bulbs. Now keep in mind, every car is different. Some cars don't do the twisty thing. Some use like this stupid little clip thing. You'll see what I mean if your car has it. It's terrible. I hate that design. And that's how you change out your stock bulbs with LEDs. You know, it's fairly simple, it's fairly straightforward. I think the thing people miss the most is the adjustment part. Like, because the way you want to adjust it is you want to adjust the top of the most focused part to your desired point. So like the driver's side, I can maybe lower a little bit, but I'm gonna see if I can get away with it. I think the passenger side I maybe made slightly too high, but we'll roll with it and see what happens. Again, big thanks to Lasfit for sending out these bulbs. They're awesome. I mean, you know, it's daytime and they already look 3 times brighter. And if you're interested in these bulbs, they'll be in the description. And make sure to use the code ROYALS. That'll save you 15% off. And if you're here early, use ROYALS20. That'll be for the first 20 customers that stop by their site and purchase an item. And that'll be for 20% off. But again, thank you for watching. Thank you for Lasfit. And we'll see you guys in the next one. And if you're interested, get the fuck out. Get the fuck. Kill this fuck.